Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy 3Stacks in this thing, representing the squad today. Today we are going over an update on the True Draco variation that I've been playing. A few people actually asked for me to update this deck, just with some better cards. Like I couldn't really get sensitive over it. It's like, can you do better than this? I've already seen a list like this. So I was like, what, that's fine. And somebody else did say, you're not running Monarch Stormforth. So I had to deliver. I had to really just take myself out the situation and be like, 3Stacks, don't be sensitive. Like, just give them what they're asking for. Don't feel like, they're putting your deck down. Dude, just do it. So we're going to go ahead and update my pure True Draco deck. Oh my goodness. I did not just say that. My pure True Draco list. And it's no extra deck. It's just stun variation. It's really competitive. It's a solid list. I feel like this is the most competitive and best list that I can provide, granted all the cards that I have access to at the moment. I think the only thing that can make this deck more competitive would be Inspector Border. If I could main deck 2 or 3 of those, that'd be a beast. So let's start off with the main deck. So 2 copies of Master Penis. You do not need more than 2, but you can always play 3. It is totally up to you. And we also play 3 Majesty Maidens. The True Draco caster. She's pretty good because she searches your Masterpiece. When you're playing under Demise, you want to have a trap and you want to have her so that you can drop Masterpiece on their turn. But what's really cool is this deck doesn't always need Masterpiece to win. You really just need a Draco and a couple Floodgates and just keep getting those pokes in. 1 Ignis Heap, the True Draco Warrior. And also 1 Dryeth III, the True Draco Cavalry General. Now, there's a cool lock if you play 2 of these and you get 2 on field. Pretty much all your True Draco monsters cannot be targeted or destroyed, which is really powerful. So I'm thinking about playing the second one. I really like him. He's like my favorite baby Draco. You guys know how I feel about him. He's like the only one that I've always thought was worth playing. And I didn't want to play them in this list to begin with because I'm playing Demise. But then I thought to myself, you're not going to have Demise every single time. Like, you're literally not going to open up Demise every single game. 1, 2, 3, every single round. 1 through 9. Like, it's not going to happen. We also play 1 Mariamne, the True Draco Phoenix. Just to have some good fodder for your diagram to pop. You play 8 monsters. Excuse me. No hand traps. It's pretty simple. Let's get right into these spells. So, of course, the bread and butter of the deck is obviously Dragonic Diagram, which I call double Ds. You got to play 3. And I'm also playing an optional field spell, which is just another search target because I actually want to keep my terraforming at 3 on my Optimus Prime. I know there's an issue where you banish 1 too many diagrams and you draw dead terraforming. So I was like, why not just play a second target, which is actually a really powerful, solid target. Domain locks out. Let's just go ahead and name all the decks it locks out. Domain locks out Pendulums, any Pendulum archetype in general. Domain locks out Spirals. Domain locks out ABCs. Domain locks out Gemini FTK. Domain locks out Lightsworns. Domain locks out 60 card decks. Domain locks out Odd Eyes. I can sit here and name all these decks that Domain of the Monarchs just so happens to completely shut down. Absolutely. Hinder. BAs, Burning Abyss cannot, there's so many decks that literally cannot play without their extra deck. Domain is so powerful. And when you play a monster like Masterpiece, it makes it that much harder because the 2 ways to fix the problem is for them to either get rid of your Domain or get rid of your Tribute Summon monster, or them control a Tribute Summon monster themselves. Domain is just so powerful. I don't understand why the card never hit the ban list. They banned Pantheism. No, they hit it to 1, but they should have hit this card because Domain is just such an impressive card. It's another active Floodgate because I like to open up with as many Floodgates as possible when playing with this deck. Then you play 3 Optimus Prime to search out the 4 field spells. We're also playing for draw power, just the 3 Demise. This is not really draw power. It actually is the closest thing to adding any card from your deck to your hand. It's Duality. And of course, you're playing the 2 Desires. I don't really like Desires that much in this list. I just hate banishing my diagrams. I hate banishing my masterpieces. But it's a necessary evil because sometimes the +1 comes in handy. If your Demise gets Ash Blossomed, for example, this is the next best play. You won't draw 3, but you will draw 2. And the True Draco spells, we play 3 Disciples. We played 2 Heritage, and to sum up the spells, we're playing 1 Monarch Stormforth. This is something that was not in my previous list because I actually overlooked the fact that it was a card. I absolutely forgot to put it in my deck. So that's pretty much your spells. Pretty simple, nothing unique or even spicy about it except maybe like the Domain of the Monarchs, which is it's pretty clutch. And then I've also heard some little chatter over this card called Strike of the Monarchs. Really spicy tech. If you want to play that in your Monarchs, that's fine. I had to let the guy just keep his spice. I couldn't really net deck or steal that idea from somebody, but it's an optional thing. Somebody told me about it. They're like, hey, this guy topped the True Dracos and he was playing like 2 strikes in the main, and it gets evenly matched. I'm like, that's cool. Traps, we play 3 Apocalypse. Apocalypse is for the grind games. And now I'm just gonna put the return right next to it. So you play the True Draco traps. That's 4, right? Let's get these bad boys out the way, because these are the real traps. These are the reasons why you're going to be able to win every matchup. You play 3 Monarchs Erupt, you play 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance, you play 3 Mistakes, you play Skill Drain and Imperial Order. You can even play this card, which I was considering main decking, Soul Drain. So you would have like 12 insanely powerful Floodgates. It just so happens that 3, 6, and 9, these 11 cards actually lock out every deck. So that was something that I really thought was cool. The versatility that these cards provide is there actually is no bad matchup for these Floodgates. They're good against every deck. Imperial Order and Mistake are probably not, or Imperial Order, Anti-Spell, and Mistake are probably not going to be good against Paleos, but Paleos aren't so popular to the point where people are always keeping in the back of their mind, I have to prepare for Paleos. And also keep in mind that in the Paleo matchup, your deck's simple playstyle and mechanic automatically beats Paleos because they, for some reason, without a Kaiju or Dark Crawler Raigeki, can't get over a Trap Monster Masterpiece, which is very much true. But against Spirals, against any Pendulum deck, against ABCs, against Trickstars, I can name every one of the best decks that are out right now, and I can't think of a single one of them that can beat this deck with 2 of these up on the field. Maybe if you have just like a Monarchs Erupt, some decks can like play through that because they can still play their spells. They can be like Twin Twister. But if you shotgun these on standby, it's like any spell in Monarchs Erupt beat almost every single deck except for Paleozoic and maybe some kind of True King. I mean, not True King, some kind of Thunder King Expector Board stun build. Like, they're just too good. And then the funny thing and the cute thing is, traps don't hurt this deck because you can literally just make Masterpiece unaffected by them. And Imperial Order or Skill Drain are just sacks. The life points, you know, you got to pay them, but still. Also, another thing is you obviously can turn any of your Floodgates off by either tributing them with the True Draco monster or popping them with the diagram or popping them with a spell or trap that has True Draco or True Draco Heritage or Disciples in its name, which is really awesome. So, too many ways to turn off the Floodgates. Mistake hinders your Majesty Maiden plays. It also hinders your Diagram plays and your Duality, but here are the cards that you can still play while you're under your own Mistake. So under Mistake, True Dracos can still play all of these cards and still generate advantage. And here are the cards that Mistake turns off for you. And naturally, when you're going first and you open up, you've already used these cards to begin with. So you've pretty much done all your searching. That's why you flip Mistake on their turn after you're done searching. And if you're not done searching, weigh your pros and cons. Consider which would be more vital. Hinder your opponent from searching or keeping it face down for a while until you're ready to stop searching. But naturally, I'll shotgun this because I know it's going to win me a lot of matches, which is really powerful. So you can still draw. If you read Mistake, it says neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. Demise happens to draw, Disciples has to draw, Heritage happens to draw, and Desires happens to draw. So you can still generate a lot of pluses, a lot of advantage under your own Mistake, and you can still turn it off if you really want to use Diagram that badly. And that is the main deck, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the deck profile. Side deck is totally just up to you. However you want to build it, just weigh your options, debate on what you feel is going to be played the most. Build your side deck particularly to counter that. Leave 6 or 7 slots in your side deck for other decks that you know might pop up randomly. But yeah, this is just a really solid list. If you want to net deck it, that's totally fine. I'm not even tripping. I definitely recommend, if you have them, play Inspector Borders in this list because it does stop you from getting hand trap going first. But since most decks are Pendulum Magicians and they can't really afford to play anything but a simple Ash Blossom, you don't really have to worry too much in that particular matchup. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, move forward to the next deck profile. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. God bless you, make good choices, don't hurt your brain cells, and stay tuned for future content. Peace.